Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Creating a Village. I'm your host, Millie, here to help nurture the village within you. And today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Diallo Thompson.
What's up? What's up,
Yay!
everybody? Glad to be here. It's an
Okay.
honor.
Yes. And can you continue by introducing yourself? Whatever you want the public to know.
Well, my name is Diallo Thompson. I'm an Atlanta local actor, artist, dancer, filmmaker, um, and yeah, I just love the arts. I also do editing, behind the scenes work that I really love as well. So, I've been doing it for uh, definitely 10 plus years
Okay.
at this point. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. That's all I can think of at the moment.
No, that was wonderful. You do the whole 9 yards.
Appreciate
Period.
it.
We
Appreciate
love
it.
that. We love that.
I do what I can do.
So today, this conversation is just going to be about like friendships, relationships, all that stuff.
Of
Okay,
course.
so I want to start the conversation with what what do you define a friendship as? Like, how does that look to you?
Well, that's a tough question. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I guess I've never really thought of it. Okay. So for me personally, like it's all about actions. I look at people's actions and I
Mm,
kind of just make a decision on whether I consider them like a real friend or just an associate, just based on what they do. And I guess in a way, I kind of base it on like what I think I would do for you.
okay.
Like if you do something to me that I'm thinking to myself, dang, I would never do that to you because like I'm just not that type of person. Then I start to look at you a little bit differently. Like I can give you
Mm,
an example, right? So I had like this is just anonymous, right?
yes.
Let's just say this is something I've been through in my life. Whereas this person that I was thought I was real cool with, and we was hanging out and we was doing content and we was talking a lot. We was in group chats,
Mm-hmm.
and we was hanging out a lot. So I'm thinking like, yo, this is like my friend, this is my homie. But then life start happening, and it's like, okay, we stop talking as much.
Mm,
I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing, which is normal. I'm cool with that because I do that to people too, where
yeah.
I may not talk to them for like a good minute, but that doesn't mean that we're not friends. It's just mean I've been like in a certain mode. So what I'll do is I checked in on them like, yo, what's up, bro? Like it's been a while. Just hitting you up just to make sure you good because we haven't talked in a minute. And then, we have this good convo. We catching up. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna link. We're gonna link. We don't link. Then maybe
Oh.
3, 4, 5 months later, I hit him up again. Yo, what's up? Like checking in on you. Have another convo. Yo, yeah, we got to link. We're gonna link. Maybe we link. Maybe probably not. Then I don't hear from you another 5 months. Hit you up again.
Mm,
Yo, we're all having this event. You're not in the group chat no more. Just wanted to let you know because yeah, I gotta hang out with y'all. Blah blah. So then after a while, I'm like, I'm always hitting you up. I'm always hitting you up to check in on you. And not one time have you ever hit me up to
oh.
check in on me, to see if I'm good, to see if we can hang out. And then in my brain, I said, okay, well, this person isn't as good as a friend to me as I thought originally. Like
Mm,
just because I'm clearly doing what I could do, and he's not giving me that energy back. So I didn't hold it against him. I just said we weren't as close as I thought.
yeah.
So I'm just giving that example overall to say like I'm gonna just judge your actions, and if I feel like you're doing things that constitute you being my friend, then I'm gonna consider you
Mm-hmm.
my friend. when you stop doing that, I'm gonna put you in the place that I deem appropriate, pretty much.
Okay, got you. I can relate to that. Like the concept of friendship has always been hard for me to grasp in the sense that I felt like I was taking the word friend too seriously. Like I'd always take titles like
Yeah,
really seriously. And so like growing up and saying, "Oh, my school friend, we're friends." It didn't seem right because we would only talk to each other at school. I was
that's
like,
cool.
"Oh,
Yeah,
we're acquaintances." But people would be like, "Oh, that's my friend." And so I was realizing my definition or like how I saw friendship was like we talk to each other outside of the like required spaces or the spaces that we go regularly,
yeah,
or like we make those strides to hang out with each other.
yeah,
And so, from my definition, I'm like, I don't have any friends really. But then from other people's definitions, I was
yeah,
realizing, like, a general term of things, friends, I guess they're categorized, but friends are like people that you have fun with at some point of time. I guess. I don't know. I still don't know what a friend is, if I'm
it,
being honest.
no,
Well,
it's
I'm
tough.
learning.
It's a tough thing to try to. Friend is one of those things I think that doesn't necessarily have a really really pure meaning or definition.
Mm,
It's like a spectrum. So yeah, like you know, when I was like in middle school, let's say, and I had somebody that I always talked to on the bus stop, like always,
mm-hmm.
like every time we see each other, we have good convos, we laugh, da da da. You can consider just that, even though we don't ever hang out or talk outside of that.
Yeah.
You can say, "Oh, that's my bus stop friend." Like,
Yes.
"Oh,
No,
that's
I like
that's
that.
that's like my work friend." Like, or like the people that I'm. Every time I'm at work, we always chop it up. We always have long convos. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a work party,
Yeah.
if nobody else is rocking with him, he could come talk to me. Like, okay, he could be my work friend, or she could be my work friend.
Yeah.
But there's,
That's,
yeah.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go
But
ahead.
that's something I've kind of become acquainted with, like as I've grown up and
Yeah,
broadened my understanding, is that you kind of need that extra title in front of friend, or at least for me, like the work friend, the bus stop friend,
yeah,
versus like the general term, oh, that's my friend. Because for me, like friend is like everywhere, or not everywhere, but like more than one aspect of your life, being involved in more than one aspect of your life. So I do relate to that, like the work friend, the other people friend. Yes,
and then there's the whole thing about like, what do you think a best friend is? Like, when someone says someone's
that's
my
a thing.
best friend, like, does that literally mean like they have a number one spot, or does it mean that you have a friend group and all of them are your best friends, or
Yeah,
whatever? Like, you know,
I don't even want to get into that. No, that is, see, anytime I ever think about friendship, it's just always like, I don't know. Because it's also the fact that you have to consider other people's viewpoints on what you guys are. And it's like, okay, they feel like we're best friends, but do I feel like we're best friends? I don't know. But
yeah,
we're gonna call each other best friends, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
yeah, facts. And like some people, they're so close with people that it's like they're siblings almost, or like they're
Mm,
constantly
yeah.
talking all day, every day. Whereas other people, like the person I consider my best friend, it's not even like, oh, those two are always together. Like, oh, those two
Mm,
talk every day. They got like, nah, you're just my best friend, but it's because you're the best friend that I have. Like, you know what I mean?
ah, I never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That's like, that's good for like layman terms. You're the best friend that I have.
Yeah.
Wow, that just simplified my whole entire thought process.
Like whoever you would consider like out of all your friends, like I'm actually closest with that person. That technically like that's like your best friend. Even if you feel like it's too intimate to
Mm,
call them your best friend. Like, oh, I would do anything for you. I would die for you, or like
yeah,
whatever. So yeah.
yeah. Wow, that's wild. But the reason why I wanted to ask you first what your like definition of a friendship was
Hmm.
because we were having a conversation one day, and I found your viewpoints on like friendships between the
Oh,
opposite sex very interesting. And so, considering like you do evaluate like your friendships based off of how they treat you and how you treat them.
yeah,
Um, so, just for the public, can you give your perspective on what you think of a friendship between a woman and a man, a boy, girl, you know?
yeah, yeah. Well, pretty much. I just feel like personally, like as I've like talked about it more, I do think that men and women can be friends. I just don't think that they could be really close friends or best friends.
Mm,
And
okay.
the reason why is just that, like, at least with my own experience, I've learned that the women in my life, if we remain friends, then she's gonna eventually get in a relationship with someone. You know,
Mm,
not all women get in relationships, but it's common. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like it's common that eventually they'll find a guy that is
Hmm.
pursuing them in that way, and then they end up in a relationship. So then that's when things kind of get iffy because now the boyfriend's kind of looking at the best friend is like, who is he? Like he doesn't know me. He's like wondering why are y'all talking so much, and they tend to get jealous a lot. That's pretty, and
Mm,
we was talking about like, well, if she dates a guy who's just friendly, who's chill, it could work. But then I'm saying like eventually I'm gonna get a girlfriend, so now I have to try to do the whole same song and dance with her of trying to say, hey,
hmm.
this is just my friend. It's not like that. Getting her to be okay with us hanging out, being okay with us talking on this, just
Yeah.
us or maybe talking on the phone or whatever. Anything that I feel like I would do with my male best friend. If for me to say like I have a female best friend, I have to feel like I could do all of those same things with her with there being no issues.
Mm,
That means that we could hang out at a house together with just us two.
yes. I
You
feel
know what I'm
like
saying?
I feel like that shouldn't be an issue. I think there's just, a maturity level. As you grow older, I feel like that won't be as much of a problem from like past experiences, I guess. Because I think that's really
Maybe.
crazy. I do think that's crazy that just from a perspective point of view that, you know, getting into a relationship with someone means that you might have to walk on eggshells around your other friends that are of the opposite gender. I think that's kind of crazy
What's crazy about it?
because I feel like if someone's coming into your life, if anything, one, they should trust you as a person, as their partner, but
Hmm.
then also they should be able, well, I was gonna say they should be able to trust your friends, but you can't, sometimes you have to be, a little cautious of friends, but still be able to trust that person and then just communicating like, hey, I've noticed this. And then if you say, no, we're just friends, I feel like they should be able to believe you, right?
Yeah, I mean that would be great. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be an amazing thing. But
Mm-hmm.
there's this cliche that like if you ask a lot of guys where they're like, when your girlfriend says he's just my friend, right? If you're
Mm.
curious about a guy or you're suspicious about a guy, and she hits you with the we're just friends, a lot of times what happens is once if you and this girl break up later on down the line, you find out that same guy that you was worried about is now either messing with your ex, or you find out that they had messed with each other maybe before y'all dated or even while y'all were dating. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason because it actually happens a lot. You know what I mean?
I could see that. I could see that happening. But I feel like that has nothing to do with your relationship in the present, you know? Like if they end up together afterwards, something changed. You know, no.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you're in the moment and you're in love with somebody, um, you know, guys and women can get very emotional, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not thinking in a very diplomatic and just mature way all the time. So there's gonna be times where people are emotional. People are like gonna act childish because there's so much romantic feelings involved. So when it comes to guys, you know, guys are gonna be territorial,
Mm.
like a lot of them, just in general. And you do like you go out with your girlfriend in public. There's gonna be guys staring at your girlfriend. There's gonna be guys thinking in their head, you don't deserve her, or she don't really like him like that.
Mm.
There's so
That's
many
wild.
guys out here that are looking at y'all, or even some of them that are even bold enough to try to talk to her while you're there.
Mm.
So that automatically makes us on guard anyway. You know, so
Okay.
then you add on to like, okay, now there's you're my girlfriend, but there's this other guy that you're giving your attention, your energy to,
Mm.
and you're hanging out with him, you're talking to him, and you're telling me that it's all good. But it's not necessarily that I don't trust you. It could just be that I don't trust him. No matter what you say, I still don't trust whoever this guy is. Like, I don't know him. And I'm also thinking, especially if I feel like my girl is attractive, I'm gonna be thinking like you probably think she's attractive too, depending
But
on
question,
you
question.
know.
Can you not think that people are attractive without having to like develop feelings? I feel like that's the thing. You can think someone's attractive. You can think they look nice and be like, "Wow, you look nice today," and go about your business.
You
You
just
know.
said you look nice today. I feel like that's completely
But
different
like
than being attractive
every
to
day you
somebody.
see them, you know. I
If
feel like
you
that's a
see
thing.
them, if you see them and you think, wow, this person's attractive. And then you see them every day after that, and every time you see them, you're like, that person's attractive. You don't have to have feelings for them, right? You don't have to
Yes.
have any feelings for them or necessarily want to date them. But I will say this: if that person becomes really friendly with you and starts liking you first, there's
Mm.
a higher chance that you're gonna go for it than if it was someone that you weren't attracted to.
Yes, but that's not happening in the scenario, so that doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm
no,
just saying.
yeah, yeah, no,
You
I get you. So then, really, I guess the question is then, in order to try to combat this, to get us out of this mindset of he want my girl, what type of things do you think we should try to put in place with our like friendships and relationships? Like, do you think we should have to put in guidelines, or we should just be open to how life goes?
well, like I said, things like this are tough because I was telling you earlier where when you have a girl and a guy best friend, and let's say they're both in a couple, you got four people to try to juggle as far as
Mm.
their emotions, their pride, their egos, all of those things. So it's like, should there be like these universal rules? It's tough to say because everybody has different boundaries, everybody
Oh
has
yeah,
different maturity levels.
but
Like,
let's think from a you perspective, not like I guess the whole world in
well,
friendships.
the reason why I'm thinking from a me perspective even so is because I'm thinking
Hmm.
about three other imaginary people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Including me. Like, let's say it's me, my girlfriend, her best friend, or yeah, her male best friend and his girlfriend.
Hmm.
Like, I'm thinking about three other fake people. So it's hard for me to say, oh, as long as we all do this, everyone's gonna be fine. But overall, because this is the thing, like, you could just try to turn to like someone like a guy who's insecure or whatever word you want to use,
Hmm.
But then that doesn't account for the those guys who have girlfriends who do cheat on them with their best friend.
Oh,
And
that
they
makes
actually do have something to worry about and it's tangible. So
mm,
it's hard to tell every guy out there just be mature enough to trust her. When there are some untrustworthy girlfriends as well as boyfriends out here that cheat all the time, and
yeah.
it's like when one bad apple ruins the bunch.
Hmm.
Now, once you've got done dirty even one time, or even if you've seen a bunch of other people get done dirty, it's gonna be in the back of your mind when you get in a relationship of I could get cheated on too.
Mm.
Like it could happen to me or anybody else. You know,
That is true. That is a hard thing to navigate. Hmm. I was about to suggest therapy, but or talking it out. Because I do think it is very crucial to like learn from the experience, feel however you feel about the experience, but there is something about trying your best not to let it affect too much of how you view other experiences. Because if you go around the rest of your life thinking like, he's gonna cheat on me, it's not gonna work out. So, but I don't know how to solve that problem at all.
I,
So, you
and
know.
as regarding to that, like the one thing that I think of now is like if I do get cheated on, I'm gonna say like I'm gonna trust my girl.
Mm,
Like this is just me personally. I'm gonna trust my girl 100%. And if she cheats on me, I'm not gonna worry about it because that just means she wasn't the one for me. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? You just pretty much showed me that you weren't the one for me. And that's all you could do is just trust her until she show you because if you do something to me, I'm going to find out eventually. I know
mm-hmm.
for a fact that the universe is not going to allow you to go to your grave without me finding out that you cheated on
Not she can't go to her
me.
grave.
I'm going to find out one way or another. And when I do, it's going to be over.
That's wild. Okay. No, that makes sense. Like that makes sense. I just thought that was really funny. LOL.
It's gonna be over. Once I find out, I'm just gonna walk away, head held high. I'm not gonna take it personal, and I'm also not gonna let it affect my ego, because for me, I feel
Mm,
like I'm confident enough to know, like, it's not because I'm not good enough that she cheated on me.
yeah.
It's because she's a cheater, and she was
Oh,
always gonna cheat on me. If she's gonna cheat, then it was gonna happen regardless. So it's
yeah.
not me. As long as you don't take it personal, just trust your girl, bro. Just trust her, and then you'll find out. But when you
Mm,
find out, don't be like these crazy guys who just go over the edge and start hurting people. You know what I mean? When they find
oh,
out that stuff happened.
oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you.
You. That's what I mean by keeping your head held high and not taking it personal. Don't be trying to fight nobody. Don't be one of these guys who are like, you know, abusers and things like that, or even like threatening her. You know, a
Mm,
lot of guys, they get in their emotions with that and it can go left. So I'm just giving a
yeah.
public service announcements on that.
No, that was really good. You said something, and I want to ask a question. Oh, okay. You said you would just kind of like walk away. Do you think you would have like a conversation about it? Because I know, I think, I don't know. I think if someone cheated on me, I'd be like, why? Why did you do this to me? Or
Yeah,
at least try to like have that conversation.
like closure.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, get some closure about it, and then try to go our separate ways. Or do you think you would just be like, okay, it's over, goodbye?
Well, I guess in my eyes, what would be the point of trying to get her explanation? You know what I mean? Like, what exactly would it actually change? You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, it could just make
Hmm.
things worse if I find out why or even with who. Now, maybe
Yeah.
I shouldn't. If it's one of my friends, I should know who it is. But other than that, because I'm going to be leaving you regardless, I don't necessarily feel like it's necessary for you to explain to me why you cheated on me, because
Mm,
for me, it's just a no go. You cannot cheat on me. It's over, like immediately. Like, sorry, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I understand that. I don't. I'm not like backing up the cheater, but I do think sometimes, not that there's never a reason to cheat. Okay, but sometimes they're like learning moments from their reasoning. Uh, LOL.
Just
What
petting
kind of
my
dog is
dog.
that? I'm sorry, that was so. There's a
I
dog in the
don't know.
background.
I don't know. He's a mutt.
Oh, that I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
very pretty. He's very pretty.
Thanks.
Um, yes, to words I just said. What was I saying? Oh, I feel like there's like good learning moments that can kind of come out of any experience in life, honestly. But
Definitely.
yeah, I think that's why I would want to at least have that closure conversation, maybe.
Yeah. No, I agree. You can learn. You can definitely learn things if you stick around and just talk, and especially if you want an amicable relationship with this
Mm,
person. Then yeah, you should definitely talk it out. And but it's gonna hurt regardless. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna not
oh yeah.
be hurt like it's gonna hurt. Maybe we could talk about it just like way later. But
Mm,
like in the
you need the
moment,
space.
I'm just gonna be too hurt to want to just have this back and forth. Or even like, you get in those situations where it's like, please forgive me, please. I swear I'll do
Oh,
anything. I'll do anything. Now it's like, now you open, just by even having that conversation, you're opening up the possibility of you forgiving her for it.
mm.
And maybe I sound crazy for saying that I wouldn't forgive somebody for that, but
You don't sound crazy, but you know what people
or
say about
harsh.
forgiveness. It's for you, not for them.
Yeah,
But no, that's not harsh because I can understand that time heals all wounds thing. So yeah.
yeah. Time heals all wounds. I mean, but cheating is like I always say trust is like a string, right? It's
Mm,
like a little string. And once you break that, you could try to like tie it back together and do all this other stuff. But you're never gonna like have the it's broken. It's never gonna be the
yeah.
same anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to
Hmm.
tie it back together. You're trying to, but that couple that never had disloyalty, they still that perfect string the whole time. Whereas you walking around with a bunch of knots in yours because it's never gonna be the same. You broke it. You know what I mean? So when you try to come back and apologize and let's try again, but now I can never trust you no more. So
Mm,
even if we try again, in the back of my mind, where were you last night? Who is that you're texting? Who is this person that's liking all your pictures all the time? I'm gonna be thinking all that stuff because you already cheated once. Once. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So why would I want to be with someone long term that I can't even trust 100%? You know?
Mm. So coming out of like romantic relationships, for friendships, if there was some type of betrayal, how do you think, well, one, do you think you would mend them or want to mend them? And then how would that look for you, I guess?
I think that friendships are a lot less black and white than romantic relationships are, because
Yeah.
there are like these unspoken rules in romantic relationships that are pretty common. Like, you cheating on me is you cheating on me.
Hmm.
With your friends, there is no equivalent, I don't think, to just something that's like, oh, you cheated on me, let's not ever talk again. Like, the closest thing would be them sleeping with your girlfriend. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're done. Like, we're completely not friends no more. And there's really not a lot that can like bring you all the way back to where you were from that. But
Mm-hmm.
anything else, depending on what it is, there's always a possibility to remend a friendship, in my opinion. Now, if you hurt one of my family members, if you stole a very large amount of money from me, if you tried, anything like that, it's like, yeah, I can't trust you around my family. I can't trust you when it comes to money. But in my opinion, with the friend stuff, you just go down a tier. You're most
Yeah.
likely not getting cut off, but I'm just gonna, like I said before, place you where you need to go. If I felt like I
Mm-hmm.
trusted you enough to where I would lend you $1,000 today if you ask me, and then you steal my money, you're never ever again gonna be on the I will lend you $1,000 today tier of friends. Like,
Yeah.
we could maybe be friends if I forgive you, but if you ask me for money again, I'm not giving you money.
No,
Like,
sir.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have, like, for example, um, I have a family member who had a best friend, and
Mm-hmm.
they ended up getting in this fight at a party or something. I don't remember how it happened, but they got in a fight. After that, the friend tried to call Child Protective Services on my family member to try to get her kids taken away from her out of
That's
spite.
wild. Mm.
That to me is like, you're hurting my family. Like, I don't know how I'm going to try to forgive you for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things where you go from this tier to don't ever talk to me again tier.
Yeah.
So it's levels, but everything like that's not in the extreme, I'm personally willing to forgive people for things. I'm pretty like forgiving in general, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I don't really get in a bunch of spats or arguments or fights with like my friends like that. So,
Oh, that's nice. I was just thinking if I get in arguments with people, I'm not a very confrontational person. I don't think anyone's ever done anything that I'm like, no, you're wrong or something. Like, we've
yeah.
had such varying opinions on either.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I've definitely, now that I think about it, I've definitely gotten into things with my friends. Now that I think about it, but
Mm.
it's never been like too serious. It's never really gotten
Yeah.
over a certain point.
Mm.
You know,
Is this your
I
usual
actually
conversations?
have though. I actually have almost gotten in a few fights. Like, and the thing is, most of those things happen like in the past 5 years. I
Mm-hmm.
never had those scenarios before that time, but I don't know. It's been like a few different times where like I almost got in a fight with someone over just the most stupidest stuff.
Hmm. Would you like to share one? You don't have to.
No,
Do not
I
feel pressure.
can. It's fine. Um, Actually, the first time was actually at place of work, because that where I'm talking about. Believe it
Yes.
or not, but basically, like, we was having an event. I worked there, and um, the sanctuary, the event was somewhere that wasn't in the main sanctuary,
Mm.
so it was outside. It was like in the lobby area. So, I'm like, I cut through the sanctuary to go do things when I'm working because it's so much faster, especially if there's
Mm-hmm.
nobody in there. So I'm cutting through there, and I happen to be on the phone with somebody, and I'm walking through, and then I'm on the top balcony though. So,
Mm.
and it's dark in there. So I just hear a voice out of nowhere like, "Hey, you can't be here. This place is closed." I'm like, I work here. I work here. I don't care if you work here. I said you can't be here. I'm like, hold up,
That's wild.
let me put you on hold for a second.
It's
I'm
a little
like,
aggressive.
excuse me, sir. I'm just walking through. I work here, man. Like, chill. You're tripping.
Mm.
He's like, I don't care who you are. I like, da da da. Like, he's like going in on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Mm.
bro, like, you need to relax. I'm telling, like, you need to relax for real. You're doing way too much. He's like, oh, for real? Oh, for real? I'm like, yeah. Keep in mind, I'm on the top floor. He's on the bottom floor. So I can't even see this person. I'm just
Oh
here.
wow, I thought he was like behind you or something.
No, I
That's
don't
wild.
know who he is. He's on the bottom floor and it's dark, and I'm on the top floor. So he doesn't know who I am.
Mm.
I don't know who he is. I just hear him. So then I'm like, that was weird. So then eventually I make my way back to the event,
Mm.
still thinking to myself, like, I wonder who that was. Sure enough, dude walks right up to me. He's like, that was you in there in the sanctuary? I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that was me. I'm like, bro, you don't like,
This
bro,
is getting way too serious.
I was like, bro, I walk through there as all the time. Like, you don't have to like talk to me like mad disrespectful like that. You know, we could talk with
Mm-hmm.
respect. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to get disrespectful over something like that. So then he's like looking at me crazy. And he's like, oh, okay, bet. All right, I'm gonna find you after work. I'm gonna find you after this. Like, I'll remember you. And he's walking away, like looking at me like, I'm gonna remember you. And I'm like, what? I was like, wait, are you like threatening me right now? He was like, don't worry about it. He walks away.
Mm.
I
Interesting.
immediately, I immediately go to my supervisor, like, do you know that guy over there? He literally just threatened me. Like,
Yes.
I'm,
No,
I'm
that's wild. Not in a
like,
place of worship.
I'm like, yeah, that guy right there just threatened me. I'm here to work. Literally, I'm just here to work. I'm not here to fight. Now, I'm not even. I can't even speak. I'll tell you later, like after what she was said to me, because I can't say too much else. But
Mm.
that was the first time, and the second time I was out, it was a men's gathering that me and my friends we all came together for our men's gathering. We used to do it
Mm-hmm.
like once a month,
Oh, that's
and
cute.
the guy who was putting it together, he's like a friend of a friend. He's not like my friend, but he's a friend of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent out an invite. We all went to Dave and Buster's together. We was sitting down. Everything was great. He was passing out all these cards with questions where we would talk to people about all these different topics. It was really dope. Like the vibe was cool. So then he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a competition, and whoever wins at the end gets a free Dave and Buster's card. I already got it for y'all. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
This one's really so stupid. Okay, so I'm paired up with one of my friends. He gives out a like a riddle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, all right, what's the answer to this riddle? Everybody write down your answers. I think the riddle was something about um if uh there's like a school bus driver and something like it was like, so if you're the school bus driver, what's the what's the color of the school bus driver's hair? That was like the riddle. Like you're the school
Complicated.
bus
Okay.
driver. What's the hair color of the school bus driver? So me and my friend like, uh, it would be our hair color, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of our hair color is black. So it's like, yeah, it would be our hair color, which is black. So that's what we say as our answer. Everybody, everybody else says some other stuff. He's like, sorry, y'all got it wrong. The answer was, it's your hair color. I'm like, yeah, that's what we said. It, our hair color is black. Yeah, but the answer is your hair color.
Oh, I get it. I
And I'm
get
like,
it.
yeah, but our hair color is black. We got it right. Like we basically figured it out.
No, no, technically that is wrong.
Well,
Sorry, continue.
regardless, me and my friend was up. We had the most points at the time, so we was just being competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, bro, like what? Like that makes no sense. Like I just wasn't like registering my brain. Like, bro, can you just give it to us because we got the answer right? Like, you know what I mean? It's pretty much
Mm.
it's our hair color. No, sorry, it's our hair color. All right, cool. So he's like, he gets up to go somewhere to go get something. And then one of the people in front of me is like, yeah, bro, like I thought it was that too. I agree with you. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, if it's our hair color's black, it's pretty much the same answer. So the
Mm.
guy comes back down and sits down as I'm talking about it to them, like, yeah, like da da da. And he's like, bro, Diallo, shut the F up. Da da da, just shut up.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
he started cursing me out, literally cursing me out. Like, I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, who are you talking to, bro? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just tried to
Yeah.
really turn up on me in front of everybody. I'm like, bro, don't talk to me like that. He gets up, all right, like, let's go outside right now. Like,
Why
let's
does
go.
everyone want to fight you?
I was like, what? Like, what? And we there with all our friends. So all our friends like run up to him. They run up to me, bro, Diallo, just chill, bro, chill, bro. Yeah. And I'm like getting mad, like, why are you telling me to chill? He's the one that wanted to fight me. It's like, bro, chill, bro. Like he just acts like that sometimes. That like they.
Mm.
I'm like, all right, cool. I sit down, I'm like, fine, whatever. He come back up to me later, like, my bad, I apologize. I let my emotions get to me. We dapped it up, and now we're cool.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
well,
So,
that's nice.
we had another gathering after, and everything was good. But I was just thinking about that since we was talking about it. About like I've been in like a few of these different scenarios the past 5 years, and I honestly don't think that I'm the like the bad guy in that.
In those situations, no.
Okay, cool. Just meant to make sure. You know.
That's really wild. People be wanting to fight you. That raises some questions. Anyway, have you ever punched anyone? Okay, that's completely unrelated. Yes or no?
Have I ever punched anyone? Yes.
Interesting. Okay. I don't want to get into that now because I had a different question.
Okay.
Um, Something I did want to touch on for like our audience's sake.
Right.
You were talking about at one point, not during this, but that you like used to plan kind of like get-togethers for your friends to make sure y'all like met up and you know got together. Um, how did you go about doing that? Like, what was something just in your process for planning and making sure you kept your friend group together that you could give like advice to the audience about?
I mean, it's nothing too profound, but pretty much group chat. If you have a friend group that are actually friends,
Mm-hmm.
you can start a group chat, or even if you want to bring certain people together, like the guy that I was just talking about that I had that situation with, even though we had that situation, I still commended him because he started a group chat with people that I didn't know, but he's like, hey, this is the event that we're doing. I want to go here at this time on this date. Let me know who can come. This is the price. That's pretty much to me like the easiest way, like
Mm.
just do all the work and you can plan events and you can have your friends come through because they're not going to want to do the work with you unless you have a certain type of friends that are actually like that. But if you're
Yes.
the guy or you're the girl in your friend group that's the one that's planning things, just come up with a whole plan already and then just invite everybody out to it.
Mm.
And that then what happens is this: whoever can come to that event, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
show up. We're going to have a good time. We're going to take pictures and videos. We're going to be talking about in the group chat afterwards. All the people who didn't show up are going to be like, dang, I missed out. So the next time you plan, they're going to come through. And the more you do it, the people are like, yo, when we go like do things with Diallo, it's fun. So they want to go again if they're available and free. So pretty much all you got to do is everything, all the legwork. Find out where you're going. Make sure it's close enough that it's not a hassle for people to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Plan a date or in a time now, or you can also hit everybody up to see when they're available and try to pick a day that's best for as many people as possible. You could do that too. That's an option. And once you do that, you know, commit to going. Like
Yeah.
if those group of friends don't want to go, find someone else to go. Go anyway. Because then that's when your oh I was left out plan starts working. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. That's really good advice. Never even thought of it like that. Like, definitely the I'm left out part. Wow. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Because sometimes I'll real feel like that. Like, I'll be in a group chat and be like, oh, y'all went there? Because I don't be paying attention when people be texting. Uh, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother story.
I
But yeah.
also think too, outside of the group chat, it doesn't hurt to reach out to them separately
Mm,
because what happens with a lot of people, including me, is you'll mute group chats so that your phone isn't dinging all day, right?
yep.
And then you end up missing out because you didn't know about it. And I have plenty of friends that'll be like, bro, I legit didn't even I was free that day and everything, and I literally didn't know that y'all did this or that. So don't necessarily assume just because they didn't respond to a group chat that means that they're ignoring you or that they don't want to go. Like
Mm,
sometimes it is cool to reach out to people, everybody, like people separately, you know. Or if you
yeah.
want to, if you're cool enough with them, you can FaceTime them. Just drop your pride, be that guy or that girl that wants to do the event and is excited about it, and you want your friends to come. And as long as there's no drama or beef or anything between them, like you should be good.
Okay. Okay. Now, not my last question, but do you have any questions for me? Because I definitely have been grilling you with questions.
Do I have any questions? I mean,
It's okay if you don't.
I feel like I don't I don't know as much about you to ask questions about. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Not, I mean, like, it's a general conversation about friendships and relationships.
well,
So,
well. I guess it's because like you've answered all the questions too, so I just kind of hear,
oh,
and then we kind of
yeah.
go from there.
Okay. I
So
got
I
you. I
don't know. I
got you. I
guess
got you.
I can ask follow up questions, but and,
Okay.
as far as like I don't know. I don't think you've never been in any of those confrontations, obviously.
Not to
With
my
people.
memory. Uh, I, something I do remember, like, in middle school, I got in an argument with my then best friend. Someone got pushed against the wall. I think it was me. Um, Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was about at all. But that's very distinct in my mind. Don't
I,
remember what it was
I do
about.
have a question. I do have a question.
Hmm.
So let me ask you what you think about this, right? Let's say that you have two friends that you're really close with,
Hmm.
but those two people don't like each other for some reason, or they're mad at each other, or whatever. Like they're just not on speaking terms. How would you feel like you would like handle that or delegate that, or would you not at all?
Mm. I would definitely need to like. I would talk to both sides, see what happened, how, when, what, where, how, to really get an understanding of what happened. And I can kind of. I'll give a little bit of an example of just something. So like recently, so I do have two best friends. We've known each other since middle school. And recently one of my best friends, her birthday was in September. And so she texted in our group chat like, "Hey, I'm having this party and we're going to do this." At the time, I was like, I saw it. I don't respond in the group chat a lot because a lot of stuff they be talking about, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
hello. Um, so I saw it and I was like, I will respond. I just need to think about whether or not I can attend and all this stuff.
right.
Um, and so, but what ended up happening was a lot of stuff happened, completely got away from me.
Yep.
I didn't respond. I didn't let her know that I wouldn't be attending. I wished her happy birthday on her birthday,
Yeah.
but eventually, maybe like 2 weeks later, or maybe a week later, after her party, our other best friend reached out to me and was like, Jada, hey, are you okay? You didn't go to this person's celebration. And I
Yeah.
was like, yo, I completely forgot to communicate.
Yeah.
But what had been happening was like communication between us, all three of us were kind of sparse.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think similar to that scenario, definitely reaching out to each individual person to see what was happening, to get that communication. Because then after she reached out to me, I was like, because my other best friend talked to her about it. And I was
Right.
like, the fact that it was even brought up
Yeah.
means that it was a problem. Of course,
Yeah.
it was a problem, but like it was a problem. So now I know, and now I can reach out to her and talk about this and apologize and
Yeah.
just make sure we're all like, we're cool and kind of see how we can proceed going forward. So I think definitely navigating the communication space
Yeah.
and kind of making room for them to talk to each other if they want to, or at least being a mediator,
Yeah.
really. I don't think I would stop being, you know, how like some people are like, oh, if you choose this other person, you're not my friend anymore.
Yeah.
I would hope that people I'm friends with wouldn't do that, but I don't think I would stop being like one or the other's friends, depending on what happened. Because you could do some crazy things and it'd be
Yeah.
like, you could do that crazy thing to me. That's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think communication is definitely key in those type of scenarios, especially when you're all friends.
Yeah.
Because like my mom's been talking to me about this recently. She's like, Jada, you just can't. I don't want to say she didn't use the word ghost, but like kind of ghost people or like not communicate with people
Yeah.
and like just be la di da di da over here in your own world.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think
I do
that's a
that
big
too.
thing.
I honestly do that too. And honestly, like that is a really tricky scenario. Like I've been in that scenario a few times too. Like, and it's one of those things where it's hard to say I'm gonna handle it this way or that way because it really just depends on
Yeah.
why they're upset with each other. Like, is it something that's petty and kind of just little, or is it
Mm-hmm.
something that's kind of like a deeper rooted thing? And then, like you said, they just naturally, if you're supposed to be my best friend and I'm not messing with this person over there, it does feel weird that you're going and still hanging out with them and just acting like, because you kind of want your best friend to be with you or to be on the same
Yeah.
kind of step as you. So if they're cool with them and like, it could break up the friend group. You can't invite this person, that person. For me, I always
Mm.
do try to play the mediator. Like even when they're telling me about why they're upset, I try to both empathize with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to like say, hey, I understand how you feel. That's messed up, but is there any way that we could mend this up so that our friend group doesn't get affected? Because at the end of the day, I feel like y'all could both move on from this. And I think
Yeah.
I can see a way in which we can move forward with this through talking to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always been that type of person, is like in the group chat, maybe two of my friends is going back and forth debating and like they not understanding each other. For some reason, it's
Yeah.
like this person's saying this and this person just not understanding. And then they say this and this person's just, it's like, I don't know. And I'm always like, bro, what he's trying to say basically is this. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. I get it now.
Yeah.
So
No, those
we were
outside
both,
perspectives are always so good, like in any type of situation. Because usually when you're in something, like you already have your thought process of thinking about whatever's being said. You're
yeah,
like, oh, they're coming at me a type of way just
yeah,
because that's already how you feel. So
yeah,
usually whatever is said, you're already like, no.
yeah,
But having that outside person to be like, I don't think they meant it that way. Or, you know
yeah.
what, this makes sense what they're saying. You just need to step back
Be
a
more
bit,
open minded. Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
breathe and then maybe read it again.
Especially through text. Like things get misinterpreted so much.
Yeah. No, I've definitely had to like really step back with like text messages because there are certain things that have been said like verbally with like certain tones of voice. And then so when I see them in text, I automatically just associate that word with that tone of voice, even if it's coming from a completely different person.
Yeah.
But then I really have to check myself and be like, they're not saying it to me like that.
Yeah.
They're literally just like, here you
Yeah.
go. Like my dad, he'll say like FYI, but the way he says FYI is like FYI. I'm like, you don't need to do all that. But I know that's not, he doesn't mean it that way. But that's, anytime I see that in a text message, that's automatically what I hear. And it makes me so mad.
Well, you're right. It's like almost a responsibility for the texter and the receiver. You know, as a texter, you kind of have to you unfortunately you have to try to spice up your text with emojis and like you know
Yeah.
punctuation so that they can try to fully understand your intent. You know, if
Yeah.
if if you don't know how to do that, then yeah, you're gonna be the type of person that just gets misinterpreted all the time. Like my dad has that issue. Like he actually comes to us pretty much every time he sends out an email to certain people. He has our whole family read it because he has such a
Oh.
history of just rubbing people the wrong way with the way he types, and he
Mm.
really doesn't mean it like that. But he's so terrible at it that we literally tell him like, just run it by us before you send
Oh,
anything.
that is so nice. That's like
Like,
perfect.
yeah, like please, because especially when it comes to women, like he has a hard time emailing back and forth with women or texting them. They
Mm.
always like get offended by like
Oh.
they take his tone the wrong way. So it's just not, it's a skill set that you kind of have to develop to be able to
Yeah.
let them know like this is not serious, or this was sarcastic, or this wasn't, all that. So yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing somewhere on like Twitter, I think, somewhere, oh, X, that like a slash, is it a forward slash, backward slash? One of the slashes. And an S means that the statement is sarcastic. And I didn't know that was a thing
I didn't know
until
that either.
recently.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either. It's probably like a Reddit. That sounds like something that will come from Reddit.
Mm. Yeah, I know they said it was, I don't remember, but they said it was for like somebody, someone that had something. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the case. Now I know that now. I'll be using that. I'll be using that.
Well, I know it, but I don't use it because I just feel like, well, I just think the people you text usually can pick up on it. Or they may ask, were you being sarcastic? And I'll be like, yes, I was.
I see. I see. I mean, as long as you're cool enough with people to be sarcastic with them, you're good.
Yeah.
Me, I am pretty sarcastic. So, sometimes I feel like I may rub some people the wrong way because of that. So I try to keep
Mm,
it in check with people that I'm not like really comfortable with,
yeah, that makes sense.
because just like that's just something that I'm naturally like, I'm sure that you will notice that more and more as well. So,
No, I've noticed it already. Oh, okay.
oh man, but yeah. Sorry, this is supervisor.
Oh,
Anyways,
are you supposed to be working right now?
no, no, no. I just got home like 20 minutes before this. So,
Hmm. Okay. I'm looking at like topics.
okay.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Setting boundaries when it comes to friendship. I don't know. Huh.
What do you think?
What do I think that's important. That kind of just ties back into communication, but I think it's difficult to do like off bat unless you've had a boundary crossed and then you're like, oh no. But I don't know because when I think, I feel like, do I even have boundaries when it comes to friendships? I don't know. Mm.
I mean, yeah,
Well, okay, wait. I can think of one. Like in college, some friends I met like in a party phase of college. So they always want to go out and they always want to do this. So now that I'm like out of that phase and they try to invite me places, well, I'm like, but no, but I would love to hang out. So I feel like that's definitely something, feeling like you can even set boundaries with those people because you met under like this one kind of circumstance. But now you would like to switch it over. I think that's something uh, that's that I've been trying to navigate. But I will say it's easy. Well, it's easy in the sense that you just have to put yourself out there and talk to people
yeah,
and communicate as to why, like you've switched in whatever way you have.
yeah,
And if they're your friend, they'll respect that boundary and make accommodations. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I do think that's also one of those things that's like a wide net of different
Mm,
scenarios that and different people who have different boundaries.
yeah.
Um, and like someone like for me personally, like I do talk a lot, and I feel like for example that scenario that you just said, where it's like them inviting me out somewhere and me saying no to me, it's not even me setting a boundary because you know them be like, yo, we going to this place. I'll be like, oh, for real? Dang. Well, I wish I could go, but honestly, I'm tired tonight. That's just me, like just being me. Like I don't feel like I'm rejecting you. Like no, it's more just like, yo, you're my friend. Like, nah, dang, bro, I would go. I'm tired though, bro. Y'all have fun.
Mm,
And they're usually
yeah.
like, they're not gonna take that any kind of way. Like, what's wrong with Diallo? Is he better? Like, they just be like, oh yeah, it's all good. We'll hang out next time. So
Yeah.
for
Well,
me, like that's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I meant more so in the sense of like I didn't get specific, but like drinking. In certain colleges, there's like such a heavy drinking culture for no reason. But something they like heavily promote is like shots. More
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
drink. And so like I think setting that boundary with people can sometimes get difficult, like the whole peer pressure thing.
Mm.
Like we're doing this thing. If you're gonna be in this setting with us, you should also do this thing. Or, we're going out specifically to do this thing. So I was saying more in that scenario, but I also agree with what you're saying as well.
No,
Like,
no, like that.
yeah.
That's true. Especially, yeah, when it comes to drugs in general and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
There is that thing of peer pressure, and yeah, it's all about just respect. Like I have a few friends who don't drink. One of them's a Muslim, and I have another one. They just not something they do,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, that's like it's not even like pressure. Like it's like just a conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh, you don't drink? Yeah, nah, I don't drink. Like because of this and this and then like, oh, that's interesting. We can move on. You don't
exactly.
have to pressure. Like there ain't no pressure in me, bro. Like I just told you I don't drink, man. Chill.
Yeah,
But yeah, like as long as like you respect me up front, then we shouldn't even have to have that scenario where I'm like, no, I'm not drinking. Like, leave me alone. Like that has happened to me one time. It was my birthday,
yeah.
and I did fold.
It's
But these
okay.
are
We've all
like
been there.
my best friends, and it's my birthday, and we was out of town, so you know how that is. Like,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, for the most part, no. I've had to set boundaries with friends, and it's usually like, or they're usually stuff that's like related to women. um,
Yes, let's get back to that subject.
I'm not saying we have to get back to that, but I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no, no. I
in
was joking. I was
general. In general, that's like mainly the boundaries that I've had to set with my
joking.
friends.
Okay.
Like,
Elaborate for
hey,
the public.
like I used to make this mistake where I would bring my girlfriend around my friends and integrate her into my friend group.
Not as a
And
mistake.
And when you do that and then y'all break up, or let's say she does you dirty, your friend, sometimes your friends might think, well, she's my friend too now.
Mm.
So I can still hang out with her. I can still talk to her, even though y'all broke up. And I'd
Mm.
be like, nah, bro, can't do that. Sorry. Like,
Yeah.
and if you do that, then to me, like, you're moving weird. You know, so now I'm gonna
Mm.
like see what's up with you, because there's a bro code. You know what I'm saying? So I've even had a situation where I was on a date with someone, and I was out with my friends as well, and one of my friends decided it would be funny to kiss her hand while saying hello.
Oh, like being respectful, like the chivalry.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I literally
He
like
said no.
no, I literally had to like go off on bro after that. Like
Oh.
later on, like, don't do that ever again in your life. You know.
Hmm.
So
So I think that is a slippery slope. But so do you think instead of just not bringing her around your friends, you would have a like sit your friends down and have a conversation with them like, yo, this is my girl. This is what you can't do.
nah.
No? Why not? I feel like y'all should be able to like hang out if they become friends. I feel like that should be cool. But,
Bro,
sorry.
having to sit down with my friends and say, "Hey guys, this is my girlfriend. You can't do this, this, and this."
That does sound actually really
That's that's
cringy.
that's that's bro code. That's not bro code. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to just
Yeah.
know that. I shouldn't have to sit down with y'all. You
But
know?
I feel like the kiss on the hand thing, okay. When I like thought about it in my head, I feel like it could be like a 50-50 type of thing. Like it could be really wild, but also it could just depend on like the scenario. I don't know. I, I don't know.
I mean, if there's a scenario where you feel like that's okay, if you can come up with one, then kudos to you. I can't though. I don't think there's any scenario where you need to be kissing any part of a girl I'm on a date with body. You know what I mean? So, especially when I'm right there, like, I
Well,
didn't.
I would hope they would do it when you're there. Um,
I mean, I feel
I
like
feel
it's
like okay if you're going to like a gala or something. I think that would be okay because it's just like the setting. You want
nah.
to get
If
into
I'm at a
character.
gala, nah. Don't
No,
kiss her hand.
like
The
because
literally.
that is a gesture of greeting, though, in
Let me
some cultures.
let me say this: the only way I'm letting it slide is if you from France, Italy, the Netherlands.
Mm.
If you are natively from those places and you do that, I'm gonna let it slide. If you one of my friends that's from Atlanta, I don't care where we're at. You're not doing that. You're not getting away with that. You better
Hello,
know how to speak French fluently, or went over and lived over there for 5+ years. Then I'll give
hello.
you a
That's funny.
pass.
Okay, I see that. I see that. Okay, that makes sense. Hello, that is so funny. But why is the conversation so cringy though? Because then I might be thinking about it too literally. But then, so how are your girlfriend and friends interacting? Like, are they interacting at all, or?
I mean, I might. Like I said, I could bring her to an event or two. I
Mm,
could. You know, I'm someone who has events, or I might have a screening or a premiere or a release party, or
yeah.
maybe I am filming my own project and I need my friends to come and be in it or help me, and my girl is there. They can interact. I'm just saying, trying to integrate her into my friend group,
Okay.
add her to my group chat. She's hanging out every time we hang out. She's coming with us. Like, she's in our group FaceTimes. Like, she's just in our friend group now. Like, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying I'm not doing. And I
Okay.
love my friends, but there's no point of it, even just the whole fact of if we ever to break up, that just makes
Mm,
everything awkward. Well, we gonna kick her from the chats. Everybody's gonna unfollow her. Everybody, we're gonna stop inviting her. Like that's messed up.
yeah.
It's an awkward, way more awkward transition. Or they're talking about her constantly when you're trying your best to get over her.
Okay.
Like,
I could see that. Like, yeah. And also, I just know from like other people talking about it, it is good to have your own separate friend groups. I just think it's really crazy. You're like, no, you cannot come over here. But I understand that. I
she'll
understand
be
that
all right.
though.
Whoever it is, eventually, she'll be all
Oh,
right.
but
Oh
okay.
man.
Oh, we still have time. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
boundaries.
Well, I was actually gonna say I actually have my little cousin. My cousin, my nephew. He's actually having a event at 6, and
Okay.
we just got
As
here.
yes.
So I was gonna ask if it's okay if I go be there for that. Of
Not as if it's okay. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was
course.
a good conversation. Yes, I hope you, audience, learned something today that you can implement some of these things in your life. Um, Diallo, can you please leave the audience with how to find you if you want them to? And well, I'll let you do that first.
My address is threes. I'm just playing. The easiest way, honestly, is if you just go on Google and you type in Diallo Thompson. Then
Period.
it's like if you were to do that, then my Instagram will be there, my IMDb, my Facebook, my Twitter. Everything is like first four links. But specifically, my Instagram is at Allo Thompson. Twitter at Diallo Thompson 7, Facebook Diallo Thompson. So yeah, those are pretty much the three things that I'm on. Also, I have a YouTube channel. Just type in Diallo Thompson in YouTube; it'll pop up as well. So definitely subscribe. I think I'm at 13K. So yeah, subscribe to my YouTube, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you
Also,
have
oh, go ahead.
no, 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 go, go, go.
No, I was gonna say I have a film that just came out as well.
Yay.
Senior year, Love Never Fails. It came out at a theatrical release. Um, that time has passed, but it's gonna be going on streaming platforms, many streaming platforms soon. So just keep an eye out for that. Also, I have the first film in the series called Freshman Year. That one's already out on Amazon Prime, YouTube, pretty much any streaming platform you could think of except for Netflix. Uh, it's on there, so go check that out. Emmett Till movie as well, called Till. Whoopi Goldberg produced it. That one's on all streaming platforms. So yeah, go check out those three films. There's some other ones too, but I don't want to overload y'all with that. Those three though, just start with those three.
Oh, no, period. I was gonna ask if there was something else you wanted to promote that you're
Oh,
doing.
okay. Uh, not at the moment. Not at the
Okay,
moment. I have some
okay,
stuff coming up, but I don't have anything ready to promote at the moment. So, but
okay,
yeah, I do have music on the way. I'm doing music, and I'm just in the process of really launching on that soon and putting out certain stuff. So, but it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. But yeah.
okay, okay. I meant your podcast, but
Oh yeah. Also, my podcast just started it actually. It's called Two Geeked Podcast. So look that up on YouTube as well. The number two GEEKED. It's me and my two friends. And we're on episode five or six right now. So we just started out, but we're getting really great feedback, and it's exciting. So yeah, check that out too.
okay. Awesome. Do all those things you just said. And now, would you like to leave? No, not would you. Could you please leave the audience with some closing words, some closing advice? It doesn't have to be related to today's topic, but it can be if you wanted to.
I would just say, I appreciate you bringing me on. And I would just say that if you have a dream, if you have a goal in life, number one, surround yourself with people who believe in you and who are there to help you, whether it's friends, relationships, the people around you should enhance your life in some way or another. So if you do that, that'll make everything easier for you and it'll give you the motivation to keep going. So yeah, that'll be my closing remarks for sure.
Period. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You're welcome. Peace.